The story of Da Afu's ancestors. Even though our ancestors did their best to please the magistrate, they were not able to make him happy. One day, a neighbor rushed to our ancestor's home, his horse panting from running. "I have just returned from the city," the neighbor gasped. "I rushed all the way here to warn you. The magistrate is convinced the answer you sent him was a trick, and you are keeping the real secret from him. He's coming here to punish you. He plans to destroy your home and family. Run away while you can. There is not much time. His soldiers will be here tomorrow." Our ancestors cried with fear. The large family, with many sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, and children and grandchildren, could not help being scared. But Yi, the great-grandfather and head of the family, raised his hand for attention. "It looks as if the misfortune is coming," he said, "and there's nothing we can do. We will not run. The soldiers would easily find us, and the magistrate would be even more brutal. And I do not want to spend our last moments together in panicked flight." Yi looked at the bright blue sky and sun shining on the mountain beyond their home. It was hard to imagine the coming trouble. "Little ones," he said to the children, "go fetch your favorite kites." Then Yi turned to the adults. "Sons and daughters," he said, "prepare the finest picnic you can, with enough food and tea for all. We will not waste this time we have together. We will spend it, as we always have, in happiness." The family nodded at Yi's wise words. Quickly they rushed to do as he asked. They brewed large pots for their best chrysanthemums tea, and filled special baskets with gold cakes and custard tarts, boiled chickens, crispy pork, fluffy steamed buns, and tea-strained eggs. And the brilliant kites in shapes of bugs and butterflies were dragged out of storage and into the sun. Yi smiled at his family as they finished their tasks. He carried his favorite books of poetry, stories, and songs in a bag. "Come," he said, "let us climb the mountain." So together, with trees waving farewell, the family made their way up the mountain. They climbed high with the kites, so the kites would fly without the trees getting in the way. When there was nothing between them and the sky, they stopped. And they had a delightful time. The children laughed as their kites soared in the wind. The women smiled as they sipped the tea, and the men happily ate delicious treats. Yi recited poetry that made the women sigh, told stories that made the men gasp, and sang songs that made all the children join in. But all too soon the day was ending. The moon was already rising in the sky when the children were told to wind the strings of their kites.